weird way to transition, I feel like, to this then when it comes to, I guess I would argue it's a kind of a weird dynamic to men and women right now. That's why this kind of going on.
Yeah, everybody's trying to figure it out. Everybody's trying
So
to figure out how to integrate the new women,
the modern woman.
the modern woman. There you go. So like, some people are struggling, some people aren't. Some are women, some are men.
So this is a question that gets brought up all the time: is what should women bring to the table? And then this guy asks, I forget his name. I gotta look it up. I'll put it on the screen.
5 years ago,
Before you played the vid,
5 years
before
ago, when you said, "What do women should women bring to the table?" I could have cracked a crazy joke. I mean, Gene, that alley oop. Oh my! But we'll just continue.
Before you play the vid, though, I do have an observation on, I guess, this subject that I thought was interesting. So when I was in school, my art teacher, he was a painter, and he was sustained by his wife. His wife was a lawyer, and I thought, like, I don't know how good the relationship was, or it was real, or what the hell, like, you know, if you filter it through the whole red pill, blue pill thing, like, how it would fall out. But at least the way it was described to me, I thought it was extremely romantic, because the guy basically got to paint, and he was tenured at a university, and so he would teach, so he did have some income, but it wasn't the most income out of the two. She was a lawyer, and she fell in love with him because of his painting, and then they just made their couple go that way. So I mean, if the modern woman is really just she makes more money, then that to me
here
would
for
be
it.
a modern relationship that I think is something you could aspire to.
I'm here for it.
Yeah.
I'm here for it. Because also, if you think about it this way too, and I know it's not taking any accountability from any women or girls or people who take advantage of this type of dynamic, but if you are against like sex work and just the more shunned upon ways of making money, even the way Brittany Renner came up on her little bag just now, if there's more opportunity for women, which there are at alarming rates, you know, then there would probably be less women who feel the need or feel the like. Hopefully, it'll become. I guess my goal is for, and I'm just a man, so it's like, what the fuck do I know? But for women who do feel like that is the only way, I feel like we're getting closer and closer. Like I said, the modern woman is figuring themselves out. Like, they're trying to figure this shit out too, but we're just trying to be. The best thing we can do is be respectful while they're trying to figure it out. But you know, sometimes you got to say whoa, but the best thing you got to do is be respectful. So with them figuring out, hopefully they'll get to a place where it's more concrete. The actual definition of a modern woman is more tangible, and so I feel like hopefully we get there, and then the aspirations start trending that way, even if it's not great. Any type of subtle change,
Because it's so new.
yeah, would be I think welcome. So I'm all for women making more money if that's what the modern woman defines a modern woman.
Then should I even play this video now?
Why?
No, I don't know. We already
Well,
got pretty into it. I
I
was
mean,
gonna use,
I
I
do
was
wanna
just
hear
gonna
her
use this as a
point.
catalyst to start the conversation.
Yeah, I want to hear it.
Well, what does she have to say?
Well, he just basically asked, what did he bring to the table, and then she says, I was trying to shorten it. It was a point he was making, because she pretty much says like, cook, clean, basic, wife duties, right? She said that's what she would bring.
I want to hear it because
Okay.
he said some things I heard briefly that I actually.
If you want to get into it, I'm down.
Yeah.
I didn't know if you wanted to watch that long of a clip. Let me just back up.
I
a
don't
little
mind.
bit.
He just.
Okay. So. Okay, here we go. Boom. Starts here.
Okay, well,
I love the
let's
colors.
backtrack. I make a house a home. All the furniture you get to come home and lay up on, I pick that shit out. You know what I'm saying? When the paper towels go away in the bathroom, who goes to the store to get them, who gets on Amazon to get that. All the shit that you don't even think about that makes your life easier, I do that. You understand?
Hold on. Let me ask you a question, right? Everything that you're telling me can be bought. Guess what? I can have an assistant order me paper towels and toilet paper and groceries on Amazon. Actually, I get Whole Foods delivered to my house weekly. It's a subscription. I get meal preps every week. My meal
Rico.
prep is $120,
That was
and I
his
get
name.
3 meals a day. Make
He
myself
sounds
my own
stupid,
breakfast.
by the
That's
way.
4 square meals. I have another cleaning lady. She charges me $100 a week to come clean. You are only saving me $600. In a nutshell.
Maybe you.
$600 to $800.
You.
But what I'm saying,
Maybe I live in a 5,000 square foot home.
regardless,
I'm
saying
managing
your
that home.
services.
So I just basically wanted to watch that part of the clip and
He
then
sounds
ask
so
the
stupid.
question. Because I feel like that's a short-sighted view of it.
He sounds so stupid saying it that way. He sounds so stupid because
Because it's not necessarily what she could.
it's not fair to apply logic to half of the conversation, and that's exactly what he did. Well, I can pay for all of the what can't she pay for that we're doing?
That's why I wanted to use the cast, because I feel like that's the problem with this conversation is we're not having the other half of the conversation. Because my thing is, I don't think he's viewing when it comes to, I guess, marriage or relationships or the usefulness of a woman. It's necessarily the aspect of the marriage part when it comes to being a mother. That's what I feel like that's not in the conversation, because that's the point of a woman is to be a mother. It's like the point of a man.
You would have
to be the
agreed.
father.
Well, just this part that I've heard so far, your conversation with her would have flowed easily when talking about what you feel a woman should bring to the table. Because when she's saying, even though she may have not verbalized it in a way that
she brings the home,
and that's essentially what you were talking about. You know what I'm saying? The raising of the kid, the small things, the nuances of the home.
Yeah.
So that's what she was talking about. Him talking about it takes all of the feelings out of the relationship of why the woman is doing what she's doing for the home and for you to make your life easier. And it also takes out the feeling of why you're going to go make that money. So that means you're not making the money for the family. And that also is fucked up. Because then what are your value as a man? So why are you providing for the family if that's not why you make the money? You're doing it as a favor? She owes you for taking care of the family then? Because the conversation goes both ways now. She doesn't owe you shit if that's what she's bringing to the table. If you're saying, oh, you're just saving me $600 a week, you're not ready for a family, because that's what you get what I'm saying?
Because she had a valid argument too. She could do that too. I understand what the point he was trying to make, but it was such a but you're not seeing the other half of that.
Exactly. And so I get his sentiment. I get where he's coming from. Like most women that can't cook or can't clean say, I don't want to do this. But that's the wrong woman to have a conversation with when she's talking to you, like how this woman is talking to you. You need to be talking to, one of those girls. But when you're having this conversation with her, you have the conversation with her type of woman. This type of woman is telling you, I make a home. All the stuff you don't like doing. As soon as she said that couch, I would hate to pick out couches and shit like that. Just bring me some options. Yeah, that's cool. Boom, get it done. Pictures, get it done. All of that type of stuff, get it done. I don't want to go grocery shopping for no paper towels. I don't want to wash no goddamn dishes. And I'm not saying that's what women do. I'm just saying that's what she was alluding to.
Because I would make the argument to him, the secretary is not going to take the time to get to know you how a wife should, I would argue, get to know you. She's doing it out of a paycheck. You're going to have to tell her what to do, or as a wife, I don't know if this is us or me putting a wife on a pedestal, is she actually gets to know you and she just does it, to your example, she does stuff like that.
So how much money...
Would you agree to that?
I completely agree with that. So how much money would you put on at night your girl putting her leg over you? And you just holding on her leg. How much money would you put on just having somebody there to sleep with? How much would you put on having somebody to vent to? Because if you want to just itemize things, like it's just that, then there's some shit. Because as a man, we can be, me and you are different. Most men are, aren't as vulnerable with each other as open with each other as guys need to be. So as far as being a man, most of the time the person you have to vent to is your woman. That's the only person that can see you vulnerable in any type of way. So how much do you put on that? How much do you put on somebody being upset with you and not and still putting effort to work things out? Y'all not talking all day, but she still cooked. She still did this. because out of love, out of patience, out of whatever it
I
is.
mean, that's assuming she's doing stuff like that. But I hear what you're saying.
I'm
You're
just
trying-
saying. So like, how far up the list? Because if we're talking about what you want from your woman, those are the things that at the end of the day, no matter what anybody says, that's what you want.
Because that was a point I was going to make, and I said it, which was I feel like in this conversation when it comes to what a man and woman bring to the table, for both, honestly, I would argue, one is a father, two is a mother, what it takes to actually raise a child. Because usually isn't that the goal when it comes to marriage, is to have a
Well,
kid?
it's definitely too materialistic of a view when it's overlooking companionship.
Exactly.
I think even kind of for both of them, like she was just giving out like materialistic things. That
No,
she
because
could
she
do, and
knew-
it was like, no.
Well, she
knew
to
what
give her credit, though, she
realm-
did start it off with "I bring a home," and then from the home, like John said, it is nuanced things. But because in my mind, and this is me, so I guess share your opinion, Doc. What you think when it comes to actual, what a woman brings to, what you hope a woman would bring to the table for you when it comes to actually, marrying her, is bring her a home, like doing that simple stuff, like John even said, without having to me just tell her, like I say it. She hears it and she takes the effort to like take care of that part. Like, yeah, you can't pay for that. And if you do, like it's fake, because eventually they're gonna get to know you and they may or may not like you, and then it's gonna become either a task for them and you're gonna notice. Like, I don't know if I'm getting off a tangent on that, but it's different. It's just different. And yeah, you're just coming from a place where it's like, I would argue from comfortability.
100%.
I guess a sidetrack to the conversation, which is that's why I don't understand why people don't want to have kids. Like, I understand, but then I also don't.
Well, I kind of want them to elaborate on like the actual topic where it's like, what should a woman bring to the table if she earns more?
I don't know if
Like,
they
I don't
get
feel like they
deeper
actually
into
covered
it.
that. I think she literally, because he just asked her blatantly, like, what would she bring?
But he wanted
But
her
I
to
think-
itemize it.
Yeah, like
She did say,
exactly. They're
but
trying
yeah.
to itemize it.
It's just weird.
Yeah,
I guess it
so
goes-
it's just like automatically because she earns more money, like she's not valuable, or like she's.
I don't think that's what he was trying to say. I think he was he was making a statement to what women usually want from a man, which is they want them to be a provider and a security figure and all this other stuff. And usually when it goes to that, for us men, that usually means a financial aspect
He
of
was
it.
being a
But
dickhead.
I-
Let me say why
I-
he was being a dickhead. Because listen, when you ask somebody to itemize stuff, the argument isn't what they're saying. The argument is everything they leave off the list. Everything they leave off the list is implied not to be on the list. So there's nothing she could have said unless she stayed here for days and just mentioned things that would have made him or his argument look like he was wrong. He was just trying to use that space, that extra space of, oh, well, if she names 5 things, that's just 5 things that you can name that you could do for me, a man. Well, like he said, I can pay my this to do that. I can pay my this to do that. So he's killed her list. But because you're forcing somebody to list something doesn't mean that's all that goes to it, and that's not fair. That's why I say he's a dickhead. The way he handled the conversation, the way he controlled the conversation was a dickhead move. Like, that's just not even it's not honest. It's not honest. You didn't offer her an honest question. It was a loaded, biased question asked in a way to make you seem right. Well, then what can she do? And then you name what you did as a man, but the things you named are so general that it covers everything, correct?
I mean, arguably, you can still pay for what a man can provide too. We live in America. Everyone has a right to the Second
I
Amendment.
got a gun.
Exactly, the great equalizer.
Well,
Women
got-
now
think
dominate
it's-
the workforce. Women are making more money than men. Women are graduating college more. Women are actually able to provide and be independent. That's why, like, if she's making money, dude, who cares? It just comes down to whether or not, like, I guess the
So then take all those
romanticize
things.
it, love.
So
Go
take all
on.
those.
Well,
Let
yeah,
Doc
it doesn't
speak, let
really
Doc speak.
matter. Like if she brings more to the table, or she brings more money to the table, then yeah, if it's one of her strengths and she wants to share it, then yeah, she can share it. But they shouldn't be obligated to do it. Like I did give you that example beginning of this conversation, but I'm sure that person wanted to do it, and then if they didn't want to do it, then they'd have problems in their marriage, and maybe they're divorced by now. I don't really know, but like it comes up the longer you stay around with this person. This question, though, is like, what should a woman bring to the table if she earns more? You can actually change it to where it's like, what should a person bring to the table if they earn more? And automatically, it's just like, oh, just because they have more money, they're obligated to spend it on the other. Like, is that what they're supposed to do because they have it?
I think they should
A
specify.
level of responsibility because they're able to provide more
Yeah.
for the relationship financially.
I think they
Do
should.
they have to do that, though? Like,
I don't think so.
I think that's just the issue of dependency, and that's kind of, at least to me, it's icky.
So okay, so this is why I think it's unfair. For the woman, she doesn't get to list income as something she brings to the table.
Usually they do, though.
They
usually
do.
they don't. It's not.
But it's not taken as a serious part of the argument because a man feels if he can
That's his
provide for
role.
both, it's his role.
Gotcha.
So if you take all
Like
of
by
those
default, that's on his list or expected to be on his list.
exactly. But it doesn't really get to be respected on her list, right?
Okay.
So based off what Doc is saying, the real question should be, instead of she earns more, despite all the tangible assets like physicality, health, or making money, what are the man and the woman supposed to bring to the household?
Back to my point, I would argue, yeah.
To the household. What do they bring to the household? And then you get to start the conversation in the nuances instead of talking about all the dumb shit. Like, oh, I fix things around the house. Da 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 da. No. What are we bringing to each other? As in, when you say household, it's like, how do you grow the home? How does the man grow the home? How does the woman grow the home? What do you do?
That's why I feel like he's arguing from. I feel like he's trying to stick too much to what the argument, which is a traditional man, which is man pays for the bills and everything. But keep into perspective that usually relationships were about survival. Surviving nowadays aren't that hectic. Men don't have to provide to the degree they have to provide, where the woman has to, I guess, the opposite of the woman's role is what? Submit or something like that, be a stay-at-home mom or whatever they want to say. It's not that, degree or...
It's not that intense.
Intense. There you go. Thank you. So I guess the struggle is we're trying to figure out is, like you said, what do we bring as a man, what do we bring as a woman to the table now when it comes to raising a kid and surviving? Because that's the goal of it, right? I got to survive, you and me together. Then when our union, man, now we all got to survive. What do we bring to the table for that to succeed? And I guess, yeah, that's why I wanted to bring it up, where I made that point.
And we're even
just keeping it to simple, like what I bring financially to the table is just not nuanced enough.
It's not. And then even to Gene's survival point, we've gotten to a point in society where people aren't really worried about that. The actual survival. So now we're specifying even after that. We're past surviving. So it's the social, it's the what do you bring me emotional, like we're at the next step. So it's like that's where people are looking for. That's where you get the people hunting for clout, fame, all these other intangible things that like are kind of like fickle because we're past security, we're past survival. Everybody feels like they can survive, they can get an apartment, drive a car, go to work, whatever they need to do. You know what I'm saying? Get a gun, call the cops if you need. Like, we're past that. People who are on that, there are still people who believe in those things. I'm not saying that, but the mentality when people are dating now is a little bit.
The way they navigate is not necessarily with the
survival.
enough hindsight on the survival aspect of it.
Will I be happy?
Yeah, it seems like the question now is how can you accommodate me?
Yes.
Ooh,
Nice.
I like it.
That's the title.
I like it.
Yo, you made it to the end. Really appreciate it. Thanks for watching Fake Deep Thinking. If you like the show, remember to like, comment, subscribe, and to share. We really appreciate everything and appreciate you. So take it easy. Peace.
Peace.
Have a good day.